Hello! And if you're back after that last episode, you must still like me. Or you feel sorry for me. One of the two. Honestly, at this point, I'll take either. Anyways, we're back with some more Tiny Rogues. What are we gonna get today? Wizard? Sure, let's do Wizard. Let's see what we get this time. I mean, last time we had Wizard, we had Buff Wizard. That was something. I have no words for Buff Wizard. I genuinely don't. Alright, let's get in here. What do we got? What'd you give me? Mana Catalyst! Oh, yeah, for all my non-magic weapons. Well, hey, I mean, if we get the was it the Separator, or was it... I can't remember which one it was. No, Separator was Strength Up. It was Axe of Despair. I can't remember. The one that was basically like bonus damage for every item equipped. But if I get that, now I can get mana buffs off of it. So there's that. I can't get the intelligence. Shame. No intelligence for my wizard. There we go. Give me the candy. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm just like, I guess I could just like continue with like the things I was talking about yesterday.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Like, not yesterday, technically, but no bombs, right? But, in last video, early peg leg? Yeah? You kidding me? It's like early peg leg. I'm gonna have like minus 10 move speed, but it's fine. Be a true old man wizard. It's like, where was I? I was like in like the pseudo PS2, PS3, Xbox-ish era I was talking about. Skipped over a lot of things in there, by the way. Let's just take more stars. Because go figure, I was given like a very, very lax description, but the PlayStation 2, man, we had quite a bit of games. That's when we discovered Disgaea. And that franchise. We jumped in at 2. We did. We didn't play Disgaea 1 until the PlayStation Portable. And even then, my experience with that was just like, I don't like this nearly as much as, you know, Disgaea 2. So I think I only got halfway through, and I was just like, you know what? I give up. It's just not doing it for me. Also, we're gonna, like, die. Because I have no move speed. And move speed kind of influences how far you dodge. Also, the spider with a battery is annoying. Yeah, dude. Played Dot Hack. Both series. First series is like... So, I'm gonna put it this way. The first series, I think, is more fondly remembered than it probably should be. Then again, so was GU, to be honest, because I played the, you know, remaster, and man, I forgot how much I hate Yuri Lowenthal. No, I don't hate the man, but it's just like, God, you know it's him. Every time he opens his mouth, he's got a very distinct voice, and it's just like, oh my gosh, the voice direction was not there.
It's impossible! I can't take this anymore!
You got Yuri Lowenthal trying to be Haseo, like some 16-year-old punk. It was, how old was, I can't remember, but he was young. Some punk kid. They got a whole bunch of other cast of characters in there. It's just like, this is weird. This is a fever dream. Yeah, that was something else, but yeah, if I had to pick between the two, GU was still better. Just because the gameplay flowed better. Like one, technically, yes, it reflected more on actual MMO mechanics, but go figure, that made for a very poor overall game, because all one became was like, man, I'm gonna like stock up on 50,000 scrolls, I'm gonna have every single buff on it every second, and I'm still getting 2-shot. It's like, ugh. Ugh. Oh, Cluck Eye. Don't tempt me. Now we're gonna take Crimson Staff. But it's like, that was the initial Dot Hack 1 experience. It's just like, it wasn't bad, but like, it's again, like, it's that same aspect of like looking back on it, having a retrospect. Oh, I can't do this. This is damage myself for stats. I can't do it. I literally have no health. I would use my revive, that's about it. But it's the retrospective thing, right? You know, it's the same way we look at Ocarina of Time. It's like, it was great for the time. Frick, it sucks now. He says he gets, like, literal hate mail from the Ocarina fan. Ocarina of Time fans. Because they exist, and that's fine. Like, you could love that game. It's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna call it out for the kind of crap it does have in it. It is definitely a product of its time. We'll call it that. But yeah, we had all sorts of other stuff. Mostly that was like the RPG era. Because go figure, it was PS2. The console's lifespan was like 90% RPGs. If you didn't like RPGs, you didn't have a PlayStation. Or if you did, you were playing it wrong. But, we like I said, we did technically have an Xbox 360. We barely had anything on it. It was like Fallout 3. Halo 3. There's my revive. That's not good. This might be a short-lived run. I might have to just start another one immediately. But it's like, I know we had a couple other things on the Xbox, but there wasn't really that much that we personally played. It's an acid cloud? Wait, what's this? Oh, it's this thing. This is awful. No. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to remember all that much. Again, it's a very, very long ways back for me. So remembering precisely everything we had is a haze. And then I know we got the PlayStation 3. I'll just skip up to that. We got PlayStation 3. Honestly, also didn't have a lot of stuff on that either. I know that's when we had, we had Skyrim, because of course we did. We had Oblivion before that, clearly. Got Oblivion, and we were kind of like, you know, we're kind of into it, but not exactly. Like, again, Oblivion was also one of those games where, like, it's really hard to appreciate when you're younger. Because it's just such an odd experience in general. And then we get Skyrim, and the funny thing is, if I remember correctly, both me and my brother, like, even when we first were playing it, we were kind of just like, it's a game. We have it, we may as well play it, right? Even back then, we were just like, you know what, this isn't really the greatest thing ever. I remember getting really bored with it pretty quick, but I still played it a bunch, because again, we had it. What else were we going to do? Then Fallout New Vegas comes out, and man, that dwarfed everything else. That was my favorite game for so long. PlayStation 3. Oh, right! Demon Soul! Oh, that's right. That's when that happened. Oh, buddy, was that an experience. Gosh, I remember when Demon Souls came out. That was something else. Zero punctuation, just hating on it. Everyone, like, not everyone, but like mostly everyone was just like, what the crap is this game? It sucks. It's like, and then did we just not know at that time? Oh gosh, I remember genuinely, like, first off, I hated Demon Souls. Like, I hated it. And yet, I still played through like 90% of the game. I got all the way up to the king fight. And hated it. Just didn't really enjoy it as a game, but I wanted to, like, keep playing it and beat it. Didn't. Got up to the king, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done. His fight's BS, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. It really wasn't. It's just, again, it required a very different mindset. I probably could go back and do it now, but I'm not going to, because it either requires me getting the remake, or it requires me getting the freaking PS5, or dust it off the PS3, and I'm not gonna die. I swear. I refuse. Ooh, there's no point in drinking because I will die at anything else in one hit anyways. But it's just like, I have to get the PS3 out, and gosh, the load times. Holy crap. The load times are atrocious. So no, that's not happening. You genuinely could not pay me enough to bother. Then Dark Souls 1 happened, and I get myself in trouble a lot with the internet with saying this, but Dark Souls 1 is really not that good. You can fight me all you want on that, but it really isn't. And I will take that to my grave. I really do not think Dark Souls 1 was that great a game. I think it was iconic. I think it did a lot of things that people just either really weren't expecting, and it hit that flash in the pan kind of concept, right? Where it just took everyone by storm. Like, they were not ready for this thing. Like, they knew it was coming because we had Demon Souls. Like, they were more or less, like, prepared for it in some aspect. But it's like, that game hit a certain stride where people were just floored with it. I think it really only mostly stuck because it was the only really thing, like it at that time. And it was just right at that right moment where, you know, like content creation was just about taking off at that point, right? It was roughly around that time, more or less. And so, like, people playing Dark Souls and stuff like that on, you know, the earlier streaming services and putting out YouTube videos and stuff like that, that's one of those few things that really took off, and I think that really, really helped that game cement itself as, like, this is staying. This exists. And again, it's not me to say, like, it was a trash game, but I still don't think it's as good as people remember. Because, holy moly, that middle part of Dark Souls where you're going through, like, those few couple, like, zones. Like, Sen's Fortress is genuinely not really that fun. And then you have Anor Londo right after that, where it's just like a big FU. If you're not, like, halfway decent at the game at that point, it's just like, get out. And it's just like, oh, okay. I'm still gonna argue. Oh, I ran into that. First death! Wow, okay. I guess that's what I get for about the badmouth Smo and Ornstein. But it's like, I really don't think that fight's good, to be honest. Like, yeah, sure, you could just bait out the attacks and stuff like that if you know what you're doing. But, no, I genuinely don't think that was a very good middle point in the game. Really don't. Now, Dark Souls 2. That's a good game, and you're gonna fight me on that, but everyone does. Dark Souls 2 is a good game, man. It is. We're gonna do another one. We're only like 4 minutes in. We can do this. It's gonna be an extra long video. Cleric? Sure. Plus 6 bonus? Oh, plus 6 bombs. Okay, I was like, bonus? Bonusu? No. But no, I genuinely, personally prefer Dark Souls 2. And I'm talking about, like, both OG and Skull in the first sense. I've played both. I still like it over Dark Souls 1. Both. And you can't convince me otherwise. They're both really good games. I cannot get these kills in here. Get out of here. Go away. There we go. At least the slime's out, so it's not getting meteors. But, gosh, I remember when Dark Souls 2 came out, and I beat it, I think, 3 times in the process of, like, a couple months. I also really had nothing else going on with my time at that point, and I was just like, man, I really like this game. I'm gonna keep playing it. So that's what I did. I kept playing it, and I liked it. Of course, it was also, at that time, we didn't have our PS3 set up to go through the internet. So we didn't get hit with the massive nerf to a bunch of things, like at the beginning of Dark Souls 2, where they were like, oh crap, you know what? Lightning Spear might be just a little OP. It might be just a tiny bit overtuned. It's like the beginning of that. It's like that one part in, was it Happy Souls? The really, really good mock-up video of Dark Souls 2. It's basically that. It's so good. I'd insert that, but that's basically stealing it. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to tell you, go look up Happy Souls. It's so good. It was a good video. But yeah, no, I like Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is good. And again, that's not to be like, oh, the entire experience is phenomenal. No, there are parts of Dark Souls 2 that suck. You kidding me? Every game has parts of the game that are not fun. I'm trying to remember. What all did I really not like about Dark Souls 2? I really didn't like the Iron Keep the first time I played. I more or less figured it out later. The more optimal way to deal with it, but like... I didn't like Iron Keep because the enemies were obnoxious. Shaded Forest was just weird. Yeah, I like this more. I didn't like the invisible enemies until I figured out you just run past them, and that's about it. Was it Shrine of Astora? Is that what is it called? Shrine of Astora? No, it wasn't Shrine of Astora. It was, Shrine of Amana. That's what it was. Yeah, that big underwater place. The funny thing is, I know that's, like, everyone's most reviled and hated place. Me over here, I'm just gonna say, why didn't y'all just bring a bow and poison arrows? You literally had an infinite source of poison arrows. You know how easy it was just to hit some things with a poison arrow and wait? Like, I know a lot of people act like, oh, you can't play it like that. It's just like, why not? The game gave me those resources and told me, hey, beat the game. Oh, I did. You were intended to, like, you know, go figure, experiment, and use different methods. You weren't expected just to unga-bunga literally everything. That wasn't the point. Guys, you kind of missed the point of Dark Souls. Oh, but welcome to the internet, I guess. Welcome to most people, I guess. I was the same way. The first time I played Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 was... I was a coward, I guess is the most apt way to put it, but I was a coward. You know, looking for shields, blocking everything, which is hilariously enough probably why I had a better experience with Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 2, you know, rewards you for using shields and blocking, because go figure, they don't let you start with 100% shields. Hey, you get crappy shields that you don't really want. It's technically supposed to teach you to stop using them, but it also rewards you for when you do find the good ones. And it's kind of funny, because Dark Souls 2 is genuinely a game where you don't have to dodge roll 90% of the time. You know, as opposed to what modern Souls is now, where it's just like, you better dodge roll because shields are bad. It's just like, this is boring. It's just every fight's the same. You're not encouraging me to use different strategies anymore like you used to, and it's sad. I liked it in Dark Souls 2, where you were rewarded for blocking certain people and rewarded for dodging other people. Like, that was the whole point. Certain bosses you could just... And even then, it wasn't cheese. They still chunked out your stamina. It was just called learning to manage your stamina. That's all it really was. Gosh, I still remember the debacle about the iframe stat. Why did they turn it into why did they turn it into a stat? It ruins the game. It's like, it's to teach you how to play differently. They recognized, or at least the group that was working on it, because again, one thing people loved to rag on. Is it legendary? This might be more worth using. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We're gonna save it. It's crappy. Oh. But one thing that people really like to rag on for Dark Souls 2 was like, it was made by the B team. Bad games. Like, they also forget they still had, like, you know, they still had oversight from, like, the A team. It's not like it didn't exist. Is that crit buff? It is crit buff. Nice. But it's like, what? Did you just think they just let them run their own nonsense without knowing what they were doing? Well, the game's fine, guys. It's actually a pretty decent game. It's a different experience is what it also is. If you went in expecting Dark Souls 1, then you're stupid. It's the same thing with Dark Souls 3. If you went in expecting Dark Souls 1, you were gonna be sorely disappointed, and a lot of people were. Because people keep doing this. They're just like, I want Dark Souls 1 again. It's like, why? That already exists. Go play it. I want something different. I want a unique experience. I don't want to play the same game again. I have that. Wow me another way. But it's like at the same time, if they want a remaster of it, that's fine. I just don't want like a completely different... Hey, look, it's summoning spiders again. Nah, we're gonna go with the Frost Scepter for now. But it's like, remasters are fine. I'm perfectly fine with remasters. I know there's like a really big, pushback right now, which is like, remasters are cheap. It's like, yeah, I mean, technically, kind of. But at the same time, I kind of would like to play some old games again, but also not the way that they originally were. Because let's be honest, some old games are bad because of their old setups. Things can benefit from a little bit of, extra paint and polish. Let's be honest here. I think it's completely disingenuous to just be like, oh, remasters are bad. It's like, what's wrong with you folks? Seriously. Some of them definitely are. Some remasters are real trash, and they were... Okay, that was something. I guess the remaster police are after me, aren't they? But it's like, yeah, no, some of them were soulless cash grabs. It's gonna happen. It happens in just regular video games to begin with. If you were expecting remasters to not have that, then I don't know. But it's like, I did see that a lot of an argument also as the Demon Souls remake came out, where like people were like, this is just stupid. Why'd they remake Demon Souls? It's like, because Demon Souls 1 runs like crap. Also, Sony wanted to they had to do something with the IP or lose it, which was kind of funny. Sony's a trash company, by the way, if you didn't know. Oh, no, that's not fair. Sony itself is not. It's run by some pretty trash people, but don't think that's most companies, honestly, at this point of the day. But it's like, no, the Demon Souls remake is good. It makes the game, hilariously enough, more enjoyable. Because, again, one of the big things that was holding Demon Souls back was just the clunk. The really, really bad clunk. Okay, I don't want this. I'm going to use the Scepter. I'm also not going to use Summon Spiders. Get that out of here. Common Scroll can go, and so can Magic Quiver. What was I talking about? I mean, I was talking about remakes and Demon Souls. Right, the Demon Souls remake. I mean, first off, the thing looks stupid pretty. Like, it looks good. Again, the other thing, load times. I know. On launch, the remake of Demon Souls had a bit of an issue because go figure it was a very much a next-gen game, really. But it's like, if I remember correctly, they patched those up pretty good. But it's just the fact that the game is way more accessible because the weapons are, not as trash. Yeah, because that was a thing. Animations are way better, the game runs smoother. It looks nicer, it's much more obvious as to what you're kind of supposed to do, and I know that's a big pushback about, modern versus arcade games. Just like, I remember when games didn't hold your hand! Yeah, but at the same time, most people back then just... most people back then, as they do now, just didn't finish the game, or asked 50 other people how they did it, didn't learn themselves, they just asked somebody else, like, how did you do it? And then they do that. They did what the other person told them. But I know that there's an aspect to that, right? Where it's just like, oh, community and stuff like that. Yeah, but you also know that most people really were just looking for the answer and didn't really care otherwise, because they weren't going to finish the game either. So, I don't know. I very much like when a game that deserves a remaster gets a remaster. Looking at you, freaking Last of Us. Shut the freaking heck up. Game has not been out long enough. And here we are. Again. For like the 50th time. I'm gonna take Arbor of Agathis, honestly. Slap this on here. Ooh. Yes. But no, there's a lot of old games that definitely have a cult following that definitely deserve to be remastered. Because again, the other thing is, it's like, a lot of people are just also not gonna want to either emulate or go buy an old console to experience an old game. Like, you're bringing more people into the fold if you remaster it and allow newer people to experience it through a more modern sphere. Our damage is trash, by the way. Don't think I haven't noticed. So, that's my 2 cents on it. I think remasters are perfectly fine, as long as they are handled appropriately, put it that way. But I've never understood people who are just like, all remasters are bad. You should always just play the original. It's just like, no. No, that's okay. I don't own a PlayStation 1 anymore. I would like to play some PlayStation 1 games sometimes. And no, I don't think emulation is also the appropriate choice. I mean, I emulate things. Firm answer. Look, if the market doesn't exist, and you can only get it third party, you're not hurting anyone. Go figure, because if the main people who made it and published it aren't selling it themselves, it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. If they want to make money off of it, they gotta find a way to make money off of it. But otherwise, like, I'm not gonna buy a game for $300 from some dude in a basement because Nintendo's gonna throw a hissy fit if I emulate it. Like, get over yourselves. Like, that's the ultimate thing about that. You want me to pay you? I will gladly pay you. Figure it out. You literally have an online store. Oh, mending. That's nice. Am I gonna take mending? I'm gonna take mending. Let's do it. My armor repairs every floor now. So even if all my armor goes, and I lose some health, I'm gonna heal all of this, by the way. The wonders of a cleric. But yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at it, honestly. I would love to pay the company the money they're deserved for the product they have made. But if they aren't, then shoot, man, I'm gonna find the cheap route, because you're not losing out on money. And I'm not gonna shill out way too much for, you know, like... What's a good example? Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg? That's an actual game. On the GameCube, by the way, which I completely skipped over my anthology of video games I have played. Didn't play that one, I had a friend who did. But, it's like, gosh, man, you don't have that. Actually, hilariously enough, I think Billy Hatcher is one of the ones they have access to. I don't know. But it's like, come on, man, I'm not going to spend $300 on Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. You kidding me? Like a 6-hour experience at best. About children running around in chicken costumes. Come on. I'm going to emulate that. It's just going to happen. But don't pirate. Like, hands down. This is the potato taking a stand. Don't pirate games. You hurt no one. I mean, that's the wrong way to put it. You hurt literally everyone. You help no one. Because at the end of the day, you're part of the problem as to why more and more companies are trying to fight for more and more, you know, protection on their games. You don't like it that something has, like, an, you know, easy anti-cheat on it? You're the fault. If you pirate, or if you know, use hacks and stuff like that, you're the reason. And it's just a cyclical argument on that, because you're going to be upset that that's on there, so you're going to pirate it, and the companies are going to be like, well, people are pirating our games, we're going to put it on there. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Y'all are both stupid. Like, the companies are stupid, you're also stupid. Don't pirate games, man. Don't steal from people. Oh, you can actually take damage from the webs falling down. I didn't notice that until just now. I never genuinely walked into them. It's like it reminds me, I had a friend back in high school. I mean, this was every high schooler's mentality, but they were like, oh man, music should be free because it's art. It's just like, that's not how that works. But I called her out on it. I was just like, yo, you're stealing from people. She's like, no, I'm not. Music should be free. Locking it behind paying is just evil. And I'm just like, alright, whatever, you idiot. I didn't call her an idiot, but it's just like, gosh. I never understood that mentality. It's any excuse under the sun to get stuff for free. That's really what it is. And I know I'm making a whole lot of friends talking like that, but it's like, gosh, man, I'm sorry, but the world doesn't owe you anything. It really doesn't. You don't get to have things for free just because you want them. People worked hard to make that thing. Even if you don't like the people at the top. Like, at the end of the day, like, put it this way, you think the publishers are affected really by your theft? Do you genuinely believe that? Do you think, like, that the literal CEO of Walmart is honestly hurt by all the theft that goes on in all of his stores? If it was, he'd be doing something about it. Funnily enough. It's the fact that he isn't. He isn't affected by that theft. You know who is? The regular clerks and, you know, other employees working at those Walmarts. It's the developers that are making those games. They are asset people. The code monkeys. Those are the people you're hurting when you steal, when you pirate. So stop it, because they honestly deserve your money. Their wages are affected by that. I know, very heavy episode. Maybe I'm just mad that I lost my last one. That's all it is. I'm angry. Let's change topics to something lighter. Why not? It's still video game related, though. Look, more potions. Nice. Do I have Mage Blood? I don't. That's a crying shame, considering how many potions I have now. No, let's go back to Anthology. Like, we had a GameCube. I completely skipped over that. Really good GameCube games. Twilight Princess? Was that? No, I had the Wii. Right. That was Wii. There was like a ported version to GameCube that was reversed. Or mirrored. Reversed isn't the right way to put it. Give me 1 second here. But, there were things on the GameCube. I'm not sitting here going, oh, Wind Waker. Duh. Duh. The other really good Nintendo or Zelda game. we had a couple GameCube games. I think that was also one where we didn't really have a lot on it, but the few that we did, we played a lot of. But the funny thing is I can't really remember much else beyond Wind Waker. I know there was other ones. I know we rented the GameCube version of Gauntlet Dark Legacy. That was a lot of fun. I really liked Gauntlet. Gauntlet was fun. At least Dark Legacy was. You just had to roll prison, didn't you? Where the heck is my mouse? There it is. Where am I attacking? I have no idea. We had Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, because of course we did. I stuck with a couple franchises. I mean, also, it's Nintendo. You kind of buy, like, the same 6 games all the time. Watch me not care take damage to the boss fight. I can just heal all this. Yeah, nothing else is really sticking out in my head. It's basically Wind Waker and Path of Radiance. There were other ones, but I just can't remember now. What else was it? I mean, there was Melee, but I'm afraid to, like, invoke that crowd. They scare me. I see someone initiating a wave dash, and I just kind of have a panic moment. Also, nobody really wants to hear this, but Brawl really was better. Even with some of its really clunky and weird choices in mechanics. Sorry, but it really just was. It's fighting words. Everything out of my mouth is fighting words. What am I talking about? What else? What else? Oh yeah, nothing else really is popping into GameCube for me. Which again is weird, because I know we used that console a lot. I think we really just played a lot of Smash. Oh, Crystal Chronicles! There we go! I know there was another one that we played a lot of. That was fun. Also, again, Nintendo being really stupid at how they want to handle certain things. We're gonna make a multiplayer game in Final Fantasy. Oh, heck yeah. Sign me up. However, if you want to play multiplayer, you need a Game Boy Advance for every player beyond the first player, and the Game Boy GameCube, like, connector cables. I'm sorry, what? Also, we're taking Mage Blood. He's got a bunch of potions on us right now. There we go. That locks in a bunch of stuff for now. Which means I don't need this power potion. Bye-bye. Gosh, that was one of the most just harebrained decisions ever. Well, it wasn't really. We know exactly what that was. That was Money Talks. They knew what they were doing there. Although, no, I think you were able to play... No, you were able to play, what, 2-player? It was... Yeah, that's what it was. You could play 2-player with GameCube controllers. And mind you, if you don't know what a GameCube is, I'm going to put a picture up for you just so you can see what's wrong with this picture here. You see, there are 4 controller ports. You can play 4-player on this thing. However, stupid decision. You could only do up to 2-player with GameCube controllers. If you wanted to do 3 or 4, this is where it gets even stupider, by the way. So, you know how the second player is allowed, as I said, to use a GameCube controller, right? Not if you're playing 3 or 4-player. The moment you go to 3 or 4-player, everyone beyond the first player, I think, was required to have a Game Boy Advance and the cable and all the extra crap. It was just freaking dumb. Then again, like I said, Money Talks. They were testing an they were experimenting with something, and it flopped hard. No one liked that idea. Which was so sad, because like my dad was always kind of like the pseudo sort of into video games like he wanted to be. He is now. He's much more into it now. He's much more open about what he likes to do and stuff like that now. And it wasn't like he was repressed or anything like that. It was more, it just wasn't like a good time, more or less. It's the best way to put it, without getting like really serious stuff, which I don't want to. Not my own stuff. My dad went through a lot of stuff. That's the best way to put it. And to be respectful to him, I'm not going to just air his dirty laundry. That's not fair at all. But he always wanted to, like, play games with us and stuff like that, and he got a couple. He tried. He really wanted to play, like, we wanted to get him to play Crystal Chronicles, but again, that was, again, the time was just like, yeah, you need all this extra crap, and we told him, it's like, it's freaking stupid. And he's like, yeah, that is kind of dull. I know he actually, I think he actually did get a Game Boy Advance at some point. Because hilariously enough, I remember playing Advanced Wars with my dad once. I'm gonna prefer this. I know I've done this before, where I've swapped off from Thunderstorm into Blasting, but this works. But I remember doing that, and it was funny. We tried, at least. Even at the end of the day, I was kind of like, because I think that was Advanced Wars 1? Yeah, it was Advanced Wars 1, so you didn't have a lot of the really cool features. And even I was just like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. I don't really want to play this. It wasn't even my dad's fault. It was just like, this ain't fun for either of us, really. Thanks for the gold die. Very much appreciated. Hey, can you enchant my blasting one, please? Is that crit chance? It's crit multiplier. Yeah, sure, I have 26% crit chance. Where do I have 26% crit chance from? Oh, right, potion's 10% of that. Where's that the 16% coming from? It's not my int. My int's only 6.7. I know you have, like, a base crit chance. No, well, I think your base crit chance is, like, what, 6%, so that makes sense, then. That's an additional... Wait, is that a royal... Ooh! Instantly distracted. Here, hold on. Yeah, that's still better. Superior's better. Damage and attack speed. I say that, I'm probably replacing it. The Obliteration Wand. Oh, here's all the fun weapons. Oh, it's a quick spirit wand. Oh, I've won with this already. Let's do obliteration wand. Oh, yeah, here we go. Destruction. Yeah. I've not seen this thing for a hot minute. This is fun. Let's go. Legendary weapons are far and few between. This is exactly why. Look at this nonsense on the screen now. I don't have the money to upgrade this. Shouldn't have spent my money on the enchanting. Oh well. My hubris just striking again as usual. Yeah, no, I honestly can't think much else about the GameCube. I know it really was like a lot of Wind Waker, a lot of Crystal Chronicles, a lot of Brawl, not Brawl, Melee. Played a lot of Brawl too. It's back when I had friends. I have friends now, but it's like, you know what I mean. When you're young, it's much easier to maintain friendships with people in person. Nobody has schedules, nobody's doing anything, you all can just hang out and do whatever you want. You get older and suddenly life happens. This wand is dumb. Yeah, the corruption update also just makes this even better, because I see it applying corruption stacks, which means the longer I'm in a fight with this wand, the better it gets. What else did I do, video game-wise? I mean, there's all sorts of things. I think by the time it was like PS3 and Xbox, we were starting to wind down on consoles, because consoles just weren't having that much by that point. To be honest, there was a dead period in there, and Sony's been dying since because man, they really don't want to put in the effort to do that. But yeah, we didn't get a PS4, didn't get a PS5, dead console. Didn't continue getting Xboxes either. No, that was roughly around the time where I started swapping over to PC. Like, I got a laptop when I graduated high school, and my grandfather was so convinced, you're only gonna use it for schooling. It's like, definitely. Totally not gonna play a bunch of video games on my laptop. Oh, goodness. My grandfather is a character. Is a character. Not in the best sense either. But, again, not gonna air that. Yeah, I started playing a whole bunch of games on there. I like Civ 5, I think was like my first technical computer game. Not exactly, like, I had a couple other ones. But Civilization 5 was like the first game I got for that laptop. It was given to me, hilariously enough, as a gift. Thanks. Hey! It's that rare potion I keep talking about. Infusions with Holy. Let's do it. Let's also reroll your shop. What else you got in here? Ooh. Yes, please. Is obliteration? No, it's only intelligence. Shame. Oh, let's get a little more intelligence in us then. But it's like, I played Civilization 3. Yeah, it was 3 and 4, I think, technically. Played StarCraft 1, Warcraft 3, all sorts of stuff like that. Like, those were on desktops, and I played those, but like, by the time I got that laptop, that's what I really hard transitioned into. Like, I play computer games now. Because go figure, I had the option. I could just, boot that thing up and play not a lot of things. That laptop was pretty trash, but, like, it managed, kind of. Played a couple MMOs, like free-to-play MMOs. Not the good ones, either. Played, like, Mabinagi, played a little bit of MapleStory. Basically, Nexon was the thing I went for first, because we had friends. Well, my brother had friends that played it, so I was like, you know what, I'll play it. And then I later also had friends. Well, that was when I swapped to Mabi. I had brother's friends played MapleStory, and trying to get that set up on our desktops was a a nightmare. Firewalls did not like MMOs back then. that was hard. A lot harder than it should have been. I'm just letting my health chunk, by the way. Yeah, no, just because he's gonna die. There we go. But yeah, played Mobby. That was hilarious enough. That was back when I close to first met my wife back in high school. We both played Mobinagi, and that was an experience. Played that for years. Stopped eventually because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. We're catching a little bit further up on like modern times. Like I've gone through I think all my console eras now. If we're starting to get into like computer gaming. That laptop was also when I tried to play Dawn of War 2. Couldn't play it. Had to play like at lowest graphics and still it wouldn't quite run. What else was on there? Way back. Gosh, I could probably go look at my Steam library and find things that I like. One of the very first things I bought on Steam and stuff like that. But you know what? I'll save that for the next video. How about that? We'll go into that nonsense later. For now, take care, y'all. Subscribe, like the video, comment down below how much of an idiot you think I am. There you go. Watch these videos over here. But you know, all that aside, like I said, take care of yourselves as always, and try to have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. So long.